Hello, London!
And the internet.
There is no one else to introduce us here tonight, so we have to just do it ourselves.
Okay, I'll do my best announcer voice. Okay. Introducing.
Wait, Phil, it's a bit X Factor sounding.
Alright, okay, you give it a go.
Prepare for the most mildly interesting evening of your lives.
Why are you American?
Whatever, fine, let's just do it together.
Okay.
Introducing Dan and Phil. What up? Hi.
Hello! Hi! Hello, hello,
Hello, everybody! Hi, over there.
Hi!
In the middle.
Hello there!
Layer 2 at the very top. Hi. In the strange box over there. How are you doing? Alright, people of London, how are you doing tonight? Are you good?
You good? Oh no!
Cut the music. Cut the music.
What's happened?
No, stop.
I've spilled your cup of tea everywhere. Oh no!
Did you literally just spill my tea? Not with the paper.
There's a river of tea just flowing towards
You
the edge
just
of the
got
stage.
tea on the book.
It's gonna... I need to stop the flow.
A lot of people like to say, Dan and Phil, are your YouTube personalities exaggerations of who you are in real life?
No.
That is Phil Lester.
I am that
Ladies and
clumsy.
gentlemen.
I am that clumsy in real life.
Let's just leave that like that.
I think we saved the iPad. It's okay.
As long as that's okay,
Yeah.
that's
So
fine.
thanks everyone for coming outside to see us.
Oh. Starting with a pun, really, Phil.
Yep.
Okay, you went there.
I started
And
with a pun.
welcome to Dap Goose. All right. Whose idea was that, Phil?
I'm sorry. I mean, I was trying to think of a good name.
I was like, it's going to be a classy, like, panel Q&A. I was thinking an intellectual evening with Dan and Phil.
Yeah.
And then Phil went, no, I've got an idea.
Dan and Phil go outside on stage event. And then I saw, like, the acronym, the Dap Goose. It had to happen.
So, here we are.
Yeah.
Yep, indeed. So here you all are tonight in a theatre, but those guys down here, you'll see there's a camera lurking in the background. I have mentioned that this whole event tonight is being filmed, and I'm going to put it on Dan Is Not On Fire, so yeah, that's good. Hey, so I feel like we need to say hello to the people on the internet, so I'm going to count to 3, and then I all want you to go, hello, internet, like that. And you guys down here, turn around, look at the camera, and do the little point, okay? So we ready, guys?
3, 2, 1.
Hello, internet! There we go.
There
nice.
We go. Nice intro.
Now, the one person watching this on YouTube's like, whoa.
Whoa.
I feel incredibly uncomfortable. That was a lot of attention. It's okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
So I'm liking this stage setup. You brought a little flower on stage, Dan.
When we walked here earlier, it was literally just the table and the chairs.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, you know, obviously this is very my aesthetic. Nothing and a black cloth, but it was a bit bleak.
It was a bit bleak. It was like your soul.
So I saw this and I was like, there we go.
Yeah.
Finished, and it's all good.
I think it could use something a bit more, though. I did see something back here.
What are you doing? Phil. No, not the... Jesus Christ.
Now we're talking.
No. Sorry, that is the... that's next to somebody's desk there. Sorry about that. Phil's just taken the plant.
But now I'll feel comfortable like I'm at home when I'm sat next to it.
I mean, okay, look, we've got technology, houseplants, and spilt hot drinks. This is a Dan and Phil apartment set right
definitely.
here.
Right.
Let's get comfortable, shall we?
And
sit down.
Just avoid the river of tea on the floor.
This was to go with my whole intellectual evening with Dan and Phil thing. I was like, this is the cozy vibe, you know, but that's fine. We'll just leave that there. Yeah. So, Phil.
Yes.
Why are we here? What is Dap Goose?
What is Dap Goose? Well, we have been on an incredible adventure over the last...
Yeah, the last 2 years of our lives have been kind of crazy, as you all know.
And we've been all over the place. We've been all across England. We've been through America on a tour bus for 3 months. We went to Australia, and we were like...
It's just crazy. Like, at this point, it's been over a year since The Amazing Book Is Not On Fire came out. Who remembers last October?
Yeah. So long ago.
And since then, an entire year has passed. We're all dying, literally just plummeting towards that inevitable death. It's actually happening.
So we were like, we've had all of these experiences, and there's so many things we've done. We need to put them together into something physical that can be held and kept forever into the future.
Because you know me, I like my physical objects to stroke and keep as a little consensually. Okay, that sounded so much weirder, and I didn't even. Oh my god, it's going to get like the baking video in a minute.
Oh no, don't stop.
To the people on YouTube, I'm sorry. Neither of us know what happened.
It was a 3 a.m. fever baking situation. I don't know what was going on.
Literally, all of the Dan and Phil baking videos ever have been filmed at 3 a.m. and that is the explanation. So just sorry about that.
What was that?
So yeah, I mean, especially as well when we realized that Tatanoff was going to be on YouTube as a film and it wouldn't be a physical thing. Just don't deal with that. I was like, we need to have a physical object. So because we had all of these memories and not just photos and videos, but a lot of stories to tell, we thought, hey, let's make it into a photo book.
And thus Dapko was born.
Woo! There it is, in all its glory.
This is the one that's not covered in tea. It's very shiny.
It is. It's quite shiny.
Smells good.
Smells good. And how did you describe it in your live show the other day, Phil?
I said scientists would say it's 5% more bucky than the last book.
And there was a word that you used to describe the width of it.
I said it was thick.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant. People were just tweeting me, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to
Who else unstand Phil in the baking video when he said thick? Yep, we're all there. So many hands. Clearly everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
So tonight in this event, because it is officially, not talking about Walmart in America, coming out around the world tomorrow after this evening. So everybody here, you've all got it. Spoilers. You can get so much attention by talking about it on the internet for like the next 2 hours after this is over.
Yeah.
So we thought today we'd talk about it, we'd share some things inside it, have some generic bants, obviously.
Bants.
About stuff.
Some
and then
interaction.
Have a Q&A with you guys and the people at home on Twitter who tweeted stuff in. So who would like to see inside Dapko? Anybody here?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to jump inside the book.
Phil is going to dive inside it. This
don't know what's
table
happening.
is rocking as well. I mean, that's...
What is this?
Did they know who we were? This is dangerous. Right, so I've been given this tablet that actually controls what's happening on the screen. So
Ooh.
this is a terrible idea. It's going to be a disaster.
Working with technology. Let's see what happens.
Oh, no. So, something quite cool that we've been hinting at that a lot of people are like, what does that mean? I don't know this word, is a weird thing we've been referring to as the enhanced ebook.
Yes.
Phil, no pressure, explain what that is to all the people on the internet.
Well, for the last book, we did an audio book, but because this is mainly pictures and small, and we didn't think an audio book would really work, because you want to look at the pictures at the same time. So with the enhanced ebook, basically you can flick through the pages, and then our voices will just jump scare you on random pages.
When you least expect it.
Yeah, but it's not just that. You can also press different sections to make spooky things happen.
So it's not all spooky. Some of them are nice things. So it's basically like a little bit of an audiobook just inside the ebook. So for example, if I flick to this page,
Dan and Phil go outside.
What was that?
I was being nature.
Oh, you're doing the outside, are you? It's not a 4D experience, Phil. You're just making noise.
Okay.
that's going to happen randomly on different pages. Yeah, that's a great idea, isn't it?
I think that was a good noise, though.
Yeah.
It makes you think of nature.
Nothing really says Dan and Phil go outside like that noise that you just made.
No.
So that is going to happen throughout the book. We talk about pages, we explain things, we tell some stories, and we also, we kind of sass the book as we go along, because this was like 2 months after we wrote it, so a lot of the time we're like, what even was that? So here's the introduction. Before we start, let's all take a moment to appreciate the you.
I think that's your best face, Dan.
Okay. Oh, okay, let's not forget Phil in the O over here. Wow. It's the Phil moon.
I do look like the moon. That's what the moon looks like on the other side that we can't see.
The foon.
Hashtag foon.
Don't let that be a thing.
So
obviously a big thing in this was how do we differentiate, because when two people write a book at the same time, like how does that even work? And Tabanoff was fine because it was like this creative mess of a million different things, but we were like, are we going to have like D and P colon everywhere? That would be stupid.
Too much D and P. So we decided to have different fonts and colors.
So this is how we represented ourselves, obviously.
Yeah.
I went for black text.
The
Yeah,
deepest black they had.
The deepest abyss.
Deepest black.
That Microsoft Word could create. And you went for a blue.
I went for a slightly italic blue, which I feel like that represents me emotionally.
Yeah, I feel like the font speaks to me as well. You know, it's kind of serious, reminds me of the X-Files. It's a bit spooky and awkward at the same time.
Definitely.
And then yours is just like fun and normal.
Yeah, fun and normal.
Fun, how
That's a good
people
bio, isn't it?
describe Phil. So why don't we flick through and show another, you're like, what is all this I'm seeing?
What is this?
Heavy spoilers right
Yeah.
now. For example, what's a good one? Okay, here we go. So, oh my God.
Oh my God.
The 2011 branding.
What's happening?
Ah! That's when I need to edit in that suspense noise
So if
when
you-
I edit this video.
If you've seen the stage show, you'll know that these guys are integral parts of the show.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah, and we thought this would be a good place to demonstrate what happens if you press on the enhanced ebook.
So, for example, if you were to tap it. Whoa! Oh my, we're living in the future. This is incredible. And then, obviously.
Tap it. What is that?
That's apparently a llama noise.
That sounds like a whale that's been mating for a while.
Phil.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, you don't say that and then do the impression again.
Look, I've watched a lot of whale documentaries.
The bar for the baking video was there. We're trying to get it at least to here.
Let's
for
raise
this
the bar.
event.
Move on, move on.
So that is an example of the snazzy technology, and it's quite cool. We do things throughout. We talk about things. Oh, here's another example on the props page.
Yes.
So, for example, if you tap the duck, there we go. Well, that's great. Shout out to the person that said Big D in the audience. Yeah, that's there.
There's the big D.
Dan's Big D. Oh God.
And then
Delete. No.
also,
This is going to get flagged. I'm sorry, people on the internet.
you can also press on the telephone and it does this.
Okay, here we go. Telephone.
Hi, and welcome to Uncle Dan's phone support hotline.
So it's like a fun little adventure trying to find the magical buttons within the ebook.
Uncle Dan. I mean, who asked for that? I
No
don't
one
know, but
asked for that.
I did it, and now it's a thing. So there we go. Right, what else should we show? I'm just trying to think. What's
find another page.
A good selection of things in the spoilers. Okay, this is definitely one that I wanted to highlight. The selfies page. A lot of people are questioning this.
Dan,
So
your face is the same in every single photo. Every photo.
I think it's a coping mechanism. I don't know. Like, I'm obviously incredibly terrified of all of you right now. I've just detached from my body and I'm doing this. So I think that whenever there's a group of people behind me, I'm like, quickly, default pose. And then it just happens. I mean, look, it's just scary. Look, every single
Everyone.
photo, it's exactly the same.
You could have just gone to one show and we could have photoshopped you into the rest of the photos.
I might as well have just not done any meetups at Tatanoff. It's
No.
just crazy. So actually, should we see if I've evolved from that?
Let's see.
Let's take a selfie
Let's
right
do it.
now.
Okay.
Let me just do this. Okay.
I'm just going to straddle the T.
Phil, don't straddle anything, right? You get on the other side. Okay. I'm going to fit you all in, don't worry.
Can we do
Right.
this?
I actually can. Okay. So everybody here has to do the, oh my God, Dan, I hate you, peace signs.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. There we go. You looked great. Keep it up. I'll post that later. That was fun. So that's disturbing. I mean, a lot of this, as you can see, that wasn't a great anecdote about Dan. Half of this book is just a roast.
Just a roast.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the thing is, like, compared to Tabanoff, which we took very seriously as like a creative thing, this one was like, let's just mess around.
Let's just mess around.
It doesn't matter if we look stupid.
Say
That's
the first
fine.
thing that comes to our heads when we see a photo.
Now, I posted a GIF on Twitter earlier that contained a certain photo that a lot of people have a lot of questions about. So do you want to see the Vegas page?
Find the Vegas page.
Okay, here we go.
Do you remember where it is?
Yeah, so here we go. So this is a thing. There we go. The story behind this is when we were doing the Vegas show, it was my birthday, that just happened to be good timing.
Yeah.
We added it in halfway through, this wasn't planned for my own self-interest, and I was given a birthday present of a piñata llamacorn.
The most mythical of
obviously.
animals.
Nobody will let me escape it, literally. It's like, Dan, a llama is for a birthday. I'm like, get it away from me.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I didn't want to just break it in the middle of a theater, so I had to take it with me. But we were like going back to the hotel, so I was walking through the streets of Vegas, just carrying
Just
this
the
piñata.
entire night, Dan had that under his arm.
I think, where's the photo of me holding it? Like, there I am, just holding a piñata. I don't even think it was that weird, though. Like, the people in Vegas, they see some stuff.
They do.
Seriously.
They see a lot of stuff in
no
Vegas.
one even cared. And then it was just when we got back to the hotel, we didn't want to make a mess in it. Because imagine if I just broke open a piñata.
Smashed it open.
So we had just had to leave it there. So after a crazy night, which I'm not going to talk about, you know, I mean, this page speaks for itself.
Yeah. That happened.
It's awake in that photo, it would seem.
It looks like it's seen things.
You have no idea, Phil. We actually just left it in the hotel. We had a chat like, are we just gonna leave?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just gonna leave it in the room. So
Just
I have
tucked in.
No idea what housekeeping thought when they came into the room, and then they just saw this
left it in the bed.
llamacorn. Again, I feel like they probably see a lot in Vegas,
think
so
they
they're
see a
not
lot.
even scared. But that was a thing, and so many more candid adventures are to be found deep within this book. Although that is probably one of the more horrifying ones.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Phil was very passionate about putting in the book was the food.
Of course, it's the most
Right.
important part.
I think we dedicated several pages to this.
Yeah.
So,
Which one are we on at the moment? Oh, there. That one at the bottom is Dan. It was Dan trying a chocolate. What was it?
This was my morning hobbit hair, okay? I had not had a time to wake up. I literally woke up like that. Yep, it's true.
It was a chocolate Chinese bun.
It was, and
Yeah.
I'd never had
that before.
one of these buns before.
So I took about 17 photos of Dan eating that because I just thought it was hilarious. He did
Phil,
it-
being a great friend, took a burst without me realizing.
Yep, definitely.
And then I'm kind of slowly realizing, and then the chocolate started
look
kind
at
of
the
dribbling
horror.
out of my mouth. And then, yep, that was...
The
and then
confusion.
the moment that I realized, there we go. So that was fun.
Now it's immortalized forever.
Phil, tell everybody about National Donut Day
National
and how
Donut
much I
Day.
got to enjoy that.
Was a big day. And you know Drake, the security guard?
He's not actually
He's not
called
actually
Drake,
called
but he
Drake.
might as well be now. So
Yeah.
shout out to our security guy who looked like Drake.
Yeah. He treated us to that entire box of donuts just before we went on stage.
And I really enjoyed the one with the sprinkles.
Yeah.
Because Phil had pretty much all of the rest,
I mean-
didn't you?
You can't just put 17 donuts in front of me and not expect me to eat them.
Again, shout out to what is happening on this previous page here. Yes, great photo.
Yeah.
That's another, Phil, oh, okay, you're taking a photo of me. That's now a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
there we go.
some of the dressing areas were hot and you just needed a popsicle at that moment.
So, you know, more just great content in this. But it's not all photos. A thing about this book is that obviously originally, because I really like art books. I don't know if you like bands or artists or whatever who do like art books or photo books. And because I'm like a super mega fan nerd hoarder, I just like to collect all of these things and pile them up. So I was like, this is going to be like such a classy art book, but obviously there were going to be captions. So I didn't want there to be too much text, so it was like a bit, you know, like cool, but then there were a couple sections where we just went, pfft, and one of them
I
was-
really wanted to write this because I had so many different room service encounters with strange people delivering me food at hotels.
So there's an entire double-page spread called Weird Room Service Encounters with Phil.
With Phil.
There we go. So there's one of these, you ranked it a 5 out of 5.
5 out of
So
5.
Let's do a live reading of The Loudest Salesman on Earth, Phil.
Okay. Here we go. So before Vegas, we had to get up at about 6 a.m. for the flight. So I was feeling particularly delicate at 6 a.m. I'd hung the magical room service menu on my door handle the night before and was awoken at 5:50 a.m. by the
Horrifying.
loudest knock of all time. It was like, boom, boom,
Good impression. Yeah, it's very immersive.
It's like the Inception horn. Anyway, I swear it was in the rhythm of We Will Rock You, but don't quote me on that. I was greeted by a tiny bald man who practically screamed in my face, "Good morning, sir! Isn't it a beautiful day to be up this early?" It sounded a bit Irish then. I was trying to be American. It took all of my will not to reply with, "Not when you're shouting at me in the face." I stayed politely quiet as he set up my breakfast. Then he noticed my obviously snazzy NASA t-shirt, which some of you may have seen. Anyway, he looked at me in the eyes and he said, "How much were you going to sell me that t-shirt? This is 6 a.m. I thought he was joking. I gave him a laugh like, "Glad you like it." "No, seriously, I'll give you a free breakfast if you sell me your NASA t-shirt."
What the heck?
What is happening? Why does this happen to me? What is happening? Why is a strange man trying to buy my clothes in my bedroom at 6 a.m.? I just replied with, "Not today, sorry, but now you've got a reason to go to the Space Center." And I slowly closed the door on his genuinely disappointed face.
Wow.
Yeah,
Savage.
I know. I heard him whistling the theme tune to A Whole New World from Aladdin as he walked away down the corridor. Wow, thank you.
Yeah. You don't need somebody trying to buy your clothes at 6 a.m. That's a human rights violation.
I mean, what if I was like, "Yeah, sure, buy my t-shirt. I'll just take it off now." Like,
I'll just strip off.
what happens next?
Laying my pancakes out on a table. Did you just say what happens
Well,
next?
I don't know.
The Phil and Bald Breakfast Man fic. Coming to Wattpad.
I don't want to read that fic.
You didn't ask for it, but it's coming.
No.
Okay.
I just got over the Phil and Barry the Bowl fic.
Okay, and here's another good thing. Obviously, an important, beautiful part of Tatanoff was all of the crafts that people sent us for the Crafty Corner. So I thought let's include a few of these, and let's just, as you can see, already a beautiful selection.
Yeah. Dan and Phil as potatoes was one of my favorite.
I mean, there are a lot of genuinely impressive crafts, like that amazing Kanye painting there.
That is so good.
I actually kept that. I have it in my house.
Over there, that's also a nice craft.
And then sometimes we'd get potatoes.
Yep.
Just that, or bananas.
The potatoes still had mud on them when we reached into the craft
They looked
bag.
freshly grasped out of the ground, didn't they?
Freshly harvested.
And then this next page, somebody there made a portrait out of us in cereal. So Phil nearly ate that
I was
one.
tempted to lick it, but then people in the front row were like, "Don't lick the cereal."
And let's just talk about this one for a moment.
Oh! I can't believe that is in the book.
You're such an amazingly supportive audience. We love your creativity and just the things that you send us. And that as well. Okay.
Oh. I mean, that one's pretty accurate, isn't it?
I'm just used to getting cyberbullied at this point. Oh my God, let's get away from that page. Nobody would let us escape it. And then here we have Malapples on a page.
We found Malapples.
We got so many Malapples, you have no idea.
We could open a gallery of Malapples.
Of just Malapples on canvas. It was incredible.
It was.
And there we go. And the dill doll, we're not talking
Oh,
about
no,
that.
the
No,
dill doll.
that's a moment that we're not going to go into right now. And I thought a nice one to end on, which was like a spontaneous thing that we did, was everybody that was in our crew and traveling, whenever they heard something weird that made no sense, they wrote it down.
Yes.
And at the end of the tour, we collated them into a list called Things Overheard on Tour. So this is not just me and Phil. It could be random other people.
People on our tour bus.
We are now going to read these out with no context whatsoever. So take it away, Phil.
Why does your bunk smell of peanut butter? No context.
That got off to a bad start. Okay, there is no fear greater than having a bee in your mouth. Yep, sure, that happened.
How much whipped cream is too much whipped cream?
I wish we had context.
Yeah.
I got a Starbucks and they put my name as Bonk. Is there any name that even remotely resembles Bonk? I don't think so.
Did you ever see a farmer put his hand up a cow when you were a kid?
I remember that was you, Phil.
That was me.
I
I've
remember
seen
that
things.
one. Yeah, I couldn't for that one. Why is there a kettle in the shower? That was me. That was on the bus.
Kalamazoo?
Kalamazoo is a real place in America. I know, right? So weird.
Okay,
no offense, Americans watching this.
Let's read 3 more.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I sat in a puddle of marmalade. At least I hope it was marmalade. Okay.
My hair looks like a squirrel mated with it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Are you having secret popcorn every night? I wonder who asked that to who. Well, that one's a complete mystery.
Yeah. So that is all. Some of the things overheard on tour, but you can read a few more yourselves.
And there
later.
we go. As I flick through this immense amount of spoilers right now, that was a quick, cheeky deep dive into Dan and Phil Go Outside. So there we go. Woo. That was fun. I mean, what impression did that give of the book?
A
Right then, I'm
varied
not even
impression.
sure. A varied impression. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's fine. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about was obviously the book is thick. As
It is thick.
Phil keeps saying, but it could have been even thicker, right?
Yeah, it could have. Because we went through, I think it was 22,000 photos.
Literally,
For our
because
book.
we were quite worried when we were on the tour that we wouldn't have like enough content to fill out a several hundred-page book, and then it got to a day where we checked, and we literally had over 22,000 photos that were in the good, acceptable, and great to be put in something sections. So we were like, oh God, we've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. However, there were some that didn't make it into the book, because I thought, as we're all gathered here, we could show you
Celebrating
some exclusive photos that will probably never be seen again.
So it's like live bloopers, basically. Okay,
Yeah.
let's have a look at the first one. What do we have? Oh God.
Okay.
This is one that you've all seen, my iconic Gatorland hat one. Yeah. Now, you are wondering probably what goes in to making such an amazing selfie as
How
this.
does it become so perfect?
Let's just have a look at the next slide. Yes.
That's how many you took. Is that really how many you took?
Is that how many I took?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the next slide.
No.
Yeah, there we go. That's quite... No. Let's have a look at the next slide. Yeah, it continues. I took over 80 selfies attempting to get that one right, and somebody has the Gatorland hat. Could I wear that right now? Pass that forward. Yeah, just chuck it forward. Pass it along. I'll give it back to you. Don't worry. I'm not stealing people's accessories here.
Catch.
You want me to
Oh, no.
catch? Dan has no hand-eye coordination. There we go. That's good.
That's okay. There we go.
Is that
That
fabulous?
completes the look.
I'll wear this just for this segment because
Yeah.
it's amazing. Okay,
Okay.
there we go. So that, is behind the selfie. That's important. What's
Yep.
up next in the rejects
Let's
folder?
have a look. Oh, no. Am I under a skinned giraffe there? I don't know what's happening.
Looks like you're under a skinned giraffe.
That
so-
was me when I was really sick on part of the tour. I think I was in New York there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Phil spent the entire day asleep and was literally only awake for 2 hours to do the show.
I think I may have slipped into a coma a few times.
And obviously, as the friend, it was my duty to take photos of him when he was asleep,
Yeah.
as any good pal would do. Yep. All right.
Thanks for not drawing on my face. Let's see
Moving
what's
on.
next. Oh, that is when you attempt to film an Undertale video in a terrifying hotel with creepy people walking past the windows looking in at why a camera is facing.
This was like in the middle of Kansas where there was nobody in the town and we thought we were just going to get skinned by some hillbillies. It
Yeah.
was really terrifying. And in the middle of the night when we were filming this video, a bunch of silhouettes walked past the window.
Really
We were
slowly.
like, oh my God,
We're gonna die.
I'm going to die filming an Undertale video in a Holiday Inn. This is not how I thought it would end.
No.
So that's true.
Let's see the next
Alrighty.
one. Mm-hmm. There's
yeah.
Dan under Captain D's.
Let's move on from that one. No context required. Okay, moving on.
Oh my gosh. This didn't make it into the book because we lost the picture. It was wedged into a weird part of my suitcase.
Lost it. Yeah. I'm sure.
But that is the most horrific face. It's on the Las Vegas roller coaster at New York, New York.
But don't you just wish we could have a better look at Phil? Let's just see what we could
No!
do.
That is horrifying!
I mean, if we had the photo, this would definitely have been a double-page spread. You
I
know,
mean,
just that. Like,
That
right
was the shakiest roller coaster I've ever been on. I thought I was going to die. That is the face of imminent death. Let's move on quickly, please.
Once this goes on my channel,
What is that, Dan?
that was an accidental front camera selfie first thing in the morning when I was in a hotel. We've all been there, right? You go to check it and you're like, what's happening? Oh, sweet Jesus. That was with the flash as well.
It's like you put a squashed face filter on it, but that's just your face.
Wow, thank you,
Sorry.
Phil. I mean,
What's
yeah,
next?
that's just beautiful. And again, that's just going to be somebody's icon in 2 weeks. What have I done? Okay, let's move on quickly.
Oh, that was one of our favorite audience's outfits.
This is a craft that didn't make it into the book. Netflix and Phil.
Yeah.
There with the face.
Yeah.
And the accompanying one to go with it, we have,
Dan's trash can.
featuring a cheeky appearance from Sister Daniel in the corner
Definitely.
there, just blessing the T-shirt with the presents. All righty. There are a lot of rejected crafts.
What was happening there?
That was me in the corner of a panorama, afraid that Phil was about to pop a bottle
I
with a
should
cork
not
in
be
it.
trusted with a bottle of champagne. It was going to go everywhere.
Real face of terror there.
Yeah.
And, yes. You explain this one, Phil.
In Las Vegas, they have slot machines in the airport.
Why not?
And then Dan found one that represented him emotionally, so he did the dope face.
I mean, of all the things, like, you can have the Batman slot machine, the Egyptian Sphinx slot machine, or you can just have the Dogs slot machine. I was, like, there for an hour and a half. It was good. I had a great time. That was funny.
Oh.
And now we're on to Australia. Okay, this is fun. Right, so, Phil, would you like to explain to all the Australians watching this why Australia wasn't included in DAPGO?
Well, first of all, Australia was kind of a last-minute thing. We got it all together in the last minute.
You mean we didn't know the whole tour?
No, we didn't know the whole
thing
tour.
Was last minute?
But also, books take a long time to print. So by the time we were in Australia, it had already been sent into the magical, I don't know how it works. How do books get made? The abyss of printing.
So we thought we'd share, obviously, the only content people care about, an animal selfie, and share a couple Australian stories now with the internet. So this is the emu selfie that everybody was looking for in the day in the life. There you go. That is the face of true terror there. Like, honestly.
That was pure terror.
Phil was holding like a bag of feed, and I was like, I'm gonna die, quickly take this selfie. Ah! And it nearly attacked me, so that was a good one.
Just before
Fond
death.
memory.
That's an unseen koala photo. I look like I'm terrified of the koala there.
I mean, is that the face of, I'm literally about to get chlamydia?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think that's the
right
face.
There. And then my next one, yes, that's good. They smelt so good, though. Literally, if you're going to make a bucket list, people watching this as well on the internet, hug or just generally touch a marsupial at some point in your life.
They smell like, it's kind of like minty mouthwash.
Yeah, kangaroos are so soft. It was a transcendent experience.
It was.
And there we go. That was some good Australia ones.
Oh, yeah.
Phil, you were saying this earlier, and I don't know if you want me to bring this up, but can you tell everybody the thing that happened when we were in Australia?
Yes, okay. So we're at the Australian Zoo, and I was really excited, and I was stood next to Dan, and I saw a wombat in its enclosure.
Good animal, wombat.
Yeah. So I said, hey, Dan, that looks like you. And then I turned.
Good friend.
That's just like a funny thing that I would say. Turned out I hadn't really checked that it was Dan that I was stood next to. So I'd gone on to some random Australian man that had Dan's hair and said, hey, that wombat looks like you.
Yeah, imagine being that guy.
Just like what did you say about me?
Excuse me.
So I had to do the awkward, sorry, I thought you were my friend. Okay, bye, I'm going to go hide in a bush. Yeah.
Like, this is why we don't go outside.
No, that's the reason why we shouldn't go outside.
So there we go. Thank you for sharing that embarrassing story.
No worries.
All right.
Should we jump into some questions from the interwebs?
Who wants to get interactive? I'll give you your hat back because you were probably afraid I was going to steal this. Okay, here you go. I can do. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Hat frisbee. Hey! That was good. That could be your sport.
That is the first time I've ever accurately thrown something in my entire life. I'm glad we shared that moment. So, yes, obviously, one of the purposes of this event today is to have a Q&A with you guys.
Yep.
So we asked people on Twitter to tweet us with hashtag DapGoose with some questions, and it was the #1 trending topic earlier, so everyone on Twitter's like... I feel so sorry if everyone was like, what the hell is a DapGoose? We don't know either. Honestly, we have genuinely no idea what's happening. So we are going to go to some Twitter questions.
Let's dive straight in with frickin' Zaz, who is Katie. That's you.
Great branding there.
Yeah. He said, at what moment were you first inspired to make a photo book?
I think that was when... Was it when we even started the tour? I don't remember.
We just realized we'd taken so many photos, and like more photos than because I don't take that many pictures, but when we were on tour, I was snapping everything. And I was like, I've got so many pictures. These are too many for Instagram, too many for any kind of social media. And I kind of want to turn them into a photo album. And we were like, why not just put them into a giant photo book so everyone can share them?
And thus Dapko
was born. Was born.
That is the story. Okay.
Yeah.
At Soviet Sinner, nice, yeah, you guys.
Good name.
Said, why is the cover so ugly?
Oh.
Hashtag Dapgoose.
It's a beautiful cover. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, we're going there, are we? Okay. I mean, you know, I would obviously have just had it in Black Times New Roman, just typed out on the thing. I think that Phil wanted to compromise.
I had a lot of influence into that cover, I think you can tell.
We wanted it to look different to the Tatanoff one and represent what was happening inside. So I think it was my bright idea to pack it full of the things.
Yeah.
And I think that it's so much of a, can I swear? Probably not, a poo post.
Yeah.
That it represents the interior of the book very well.
Yeah.
So like a child, it might be ugly, but I love it. Like our monster pups. No, I like the cover. It's very good.
Howell Galax said, why did you let Phil choose this hashtag? Why?
That's the question we're all answering. Just so you could do that.
Just so I could do that.
A cash goose impression, right? CC Who said, should I go outside? Is it worth it?
Oh.
No.
Is it worth it?
No, it wasn't
I don't
worth
think
it
so.
at all. I mean, like, this is all right.
This is all right.
Not worth it overall. I'd say I don't recommend it. Terrible Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of going outside, though, you had an interesting experience, didn't you, in a certain spa?
Are you just asking me to say this because I made you tell the
said,
zoo story? Okay,
well, it was
fine,
like,
whatever.
oh, should I go outside? Here's the
For God's
reason
sake,
why
right,
not.
so when we were in Hong Kong, we had a couple days on the way to Australia. Hong Kong, it was a fun place. Obviously flopped at getting a far-fetched, we all know that. Sweaty Dan, it was a fun day. I decided to go to a spa. Phil was like, no, that's really awkward. Why the heck would I do that? And I was like, no, I deserve some relaxation.
Yeah.
And it was like a Tuesday in the middle of the day, so I thought it'd be empty and it'd be fine. And it was most of the time, so I was just walking around, I was having like a cheeky steam, I was listening to some music, and then I saw the sauna, and I was like, thank God this place is abandoned, it's not awkward. So I go in, I sit down, and then I noticed that some guys just sat there opposite me, and I'm like, oh my God, no, this guy is going to make small talk with me.
Just you and him.
I'm sat in a towel with no clothes on, and this guy is going to... People in the comments are going to judge you for screaming, and I'm just saying that. And obviously, he started talking to me like, so what brings you to Hong Kong? And I was like,
no, social interaction.
No, this is why I literally don't go outside. Why is this happening? So I just started thinking the whole time, I need to plan my out. I'm going to think of a sentence to drop, and then as soon as the time is right, I'm going to leave. So I was sat there, and I was like, okay, the time has come. And all I was thinking of was, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to go back to the hotel room, and it's not going to be awkward. So I was like, yeah, the weather is pretty good. I got up, started power marching. But because I was just steaming, I left some wet footprints on the floor. And as I was power walking out of the door, I slipped on my own footprint. I slipped. And this wasn't like a casual thing. It was like a hard fall, okay, onto the floor. Like my entire body cleared. And then I did like a from 3 foot, like belly flop onto the thing.
Ouch.
Dropping my towel in front of this random man. So I was just like fully and this wasn't attractive. Like I was like a dying giraffe, just like struggling on the floor. It was a complete mess. And I was like, sorry, and he was just like, are you okay? Like, and I was like, yeah, I wasn't fine. I was in incredible pain. I was like, everything's fine, okay, bye. And then I just left. And basically cried myself to sleep. Thank you for making me share that, Phil.
I think it was worth sharing.
That's good. All right, moving on swiftly.
Okay, let's get 2 more from Twitter.
All right, Mia said, describe 2016 in 3 words.
Oh.
So many hashtags.
So many hashtags. That's true. Ellie, Invisible Lester, said, sell me the book in a rap.
What? Go on then, Phil.
What? You can't just make me do it.
It was a question for you, clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, come on. Okay.
I wasn't expecting to rap. Dap go, yeah, it smells really great. If it was a person, I'd take them on a date. I rhymed.
He actually rhymed,
I
people.
rhymed.
You pulled that out of the bag.
I hope I sold
am
that
proud
to
for you. Okay. Robinson Mary 23 said, what's your favorite souvenir from tour? Definitely the light-up sequined black fedora I got in Vegas.
Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you for that
There's
one.
a picture of that. Oh, and then one here, that will be my last one, from Fancakes Lester, who said...
Nice name.
Yeah. Were there any shoes lost in the dance of the shows? We had a couple of mistakes.
Yeah, we
didn't
had a couple of mistakes.
Yeah,
I mean,
those pop-up canes, a nightmare. Honestly, they were just.
they're made out of metal, so they can actually cut your hand if you keep hold of it when it pops.
So we injured ourselves constantly. I think
Yeah.
it's quite infamous at this point that once during the song I dramatically kicked. You know, there's like those little cubes at the front of the stage
Yeah.
during Tabanoff, and I'm sure you've seen this in the stage show. And I like fully kicked one of these cubes into somebody in the front row. Like I was just like, the internet is. Are you ready? Here we go. Bam! Right into the front row. And the person was just like, ow! Happy smiley. And then, like, I looked on Twitter and they were like, here's my Tatanoff bruise. And I was like, oh my God, I assaulted somebody. This is terrible. So I took a selfie with the cube and sent them a photo of it. So, yeah, that was fun. There was also the time where during the dance, the bit before we hop backwards, I had a brain fail and I threw the hat into
You
the
just
audience.
threw it at the audience.
And this was like in the middle of the song.
So someone must have been like, yay, free gift.
And I was like, give me
Give it back.
Everybody in a theater, like, tuned into this song, like, okay, this is happening. I was just like, give me the hat back.
We've
like
only got
10
one hat.
Super awkward seconds. Yeah, that was a good memory.
Yeah.
Have you got a last Twitter one there?
A
Phil?
last Twitter question. Okay, Dan, you've got 7 seconds to spell Dap Goose backwards. Go.
ESOOGPAD.
Oh, you did it.
Was that?
Well done. I'm impressed because I would have completely
it's
failed.
It's literally on that iPad. I could have cheated, but here we are.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you to all of the people on Twitter.
Thank you, Twitter. Now,
I hope you feel involved, Internet.
Now, it's not just the internet that is involved in this show. You guys are as well, of course.
But if only there was a way that we could present questions that we got from the
If
audience.
only there was some way.
This wasn't my idea. Oh my God. It's a literal Dap Goose. Wow.
Okay, and inside the goose, we have put some questions from you guys.
Okay, do you want to just put it in the middle of the table?
Okay, I'm just arranging.
Is that a goose hat? Who would
remember-
wear that? I don't know.
Okay, I'm just arranging Gertrude.
Everyone here saying same.
Same.
The comments are judging you. Okay, they can probably hear
Right.
you.
I'm going to reach inside the goose.
This is just like the baking video, isn't it? Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Gertrude. Okay, Dan, you can read this first one.
Because it has terrible handwriting.
Yeah.
Right, no offense. Okay, this one is from Annie, who said, please, can you explain what it is you do that makes my daughter so obsessed with you? Awkward. In brackets, I had to break her out of school through a fake illness and travel 200 miles
Wow.
for her obsession. Okay,
Well, that's some
thank you.
dedication.
Well, Phil, why don't you explain why Annie had to sacrifice so much to be here tonight?
You could just throw that one to me. You're answering this one, Dan.
Made me read it. That was hard. Me and Phil were super educational.
Yes.
We do everything from advice in my videos, Phil does a philosophy, baking instructions.
Baking.
You know, it's just a wholesome activity.
Yeah.
And we are really great influences, so everything is okay. Right,
Everything is fine.
Another
Everything
question
is fine.
from the goose.
Okay. Reach inside the goose, and we find.
Well-folded questions.
That was very well folded. Tiggy Evans wants to know, which photos are you surprised they allowed to be printed? Quite a lot of them.
We did actually kind of push our luck with this one. There's a series of photos of me in Boston in the park, which was one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
And the squirrels there are known for being really violent.
They're
and not
angry
scared of
squirrels,
people.
almost
So
bad as Florida.
Phil was trying to take this photo of me, sat in front of a lake, looking super aesthetic. I was ready for
Yeah.
it. And then this squirrel just came up to me and was like,
What's up?
and I was like, what are you doing? So I just stuck my middle finger up at the script. Sorry. And then we submitted it as part of the batch of photos, and then it actually got
It
printed
got
in
in.
the book, and I was like, is that allowed to? It's
That's
in
allowed.
the book.
It's allowed.
So there we go.
Flipping off the squirrel. Right, Dan, reach inside the goose.
This is from Jessica Kerridge, who says, can you sing Danger Men at work? Are you ready for this?
No, I can't do it. Okay, this is my moment.
Okay, you guys can join in too.
Okay.
And Phil,
I'm ready.
you have to get this
I'm gonna
right.
get it right.
Everybody's looking. No pressure
Okay.
for me. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Danger
The
men at work.
Danger men at work. Danger men at work. Danger men at work. Danger men at work. Danger men at work. Danger men at work. Danger men at work.
Danger men
No!
at work, Dane. German at work, Dane. German at work, Dane. German at work, danger men 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 at work.
I mean, well done. That was better than some of my attempts. I only skipped like 2 bits.
Coming out tomorrow as a charity single on iTunes.
Danger Men at Work.
Danger Men at Work. Thanks for that one. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Phil still hasn't learned. Wow, after all this
It's
time.
just, my brain doesn't work that way. Okay. Thank you for the sympathy.
If only we all had like a choir of sympathy whenever we have fails in our life. That would be reassuring, yeah?
Sean, Kira, and Jody, hello.
You okay?
Yeah, are you all right? Any photos you may regret putting in the book?
Any photos we regret putting in the book? You mean basically all of them?
Probably
Are you
mo-
kidding? It's just a book full of Phil's not looking. Ha!
Yeah.
Took a photo of you while you were blinking.
Literally the first photo of me in the book is the most horrific derp of me in glasses that you've
start off
ever
strong.
seen.
It's a good one. This question is from Alicia, who has the tiniest handwriting. A very important question.
Okay.
This is for you, Phil.
Oh,
what
me.
socks are you wearing right
Oh,
now?
very important. I am sporting some foxes, which is quite autumnal,
Of course.
and some sharks, which is not very autumnal.
Foxes and sharks. Yeah, of course.
Who
That's
would win
fine.
in a fight?
All right, let's do a couple more.
Okay.
Reach inside that goose, Phil.
Sorry,
Come on.
Gertrude. Okay.
Get right in there.
Hannah and Claire, what was your favorite location on tour?
Ooh. I'm going to go right ahead and say Seattle was so aesthetic. It was
was-
amazing. Just
was
like
very-
raining all the time. Same inside, you know.
You liked the rain.
Good trees.
They were great trees.
A lot of fog. It looked like a Tumblr blog background, but all the time. So I could have moved there. What about you?
I really like Chicago. I didn't realize I was so into architecture until I got to Chicago, and I was like, look at all the buildings. They're incredible.
And the whole of Australia, it was just so refreshing to be. We went in the winter, and all the Australians were like, why did you come here? It's cold. And we were like sweating.
Yeah. It
just
was
being
not cold.
Outside. For us, it was like a summer holiday.
Yeah.
It was good. Alrighty. It's from Emily Flower. Nice second
name.
name. Yep. Who says, where did you get your sofa from? My mum likes it. Okay,
Good question.
we are dealing with the real issues here tonight, people.
We're going deep with this one.
It's from some... our sofa is awful.
It's horrible.
Terrible. Like the sofa crease that I have, that I've caused with my spine. Good sofas aren't supposed to permanently dent into the shape of your back when you sit on them, okay? So
Yeah.
if you ever go on a website which lets you customize a sofa for
Don't
like
do it.
£20, don't use it. That's the Dan and Phil advice.
Lucy said, what is the worst thing about touring for so long in the US?
Ooh.
I think it was lack of reliable Wi-Fi. I mean,
Probably was.
there was...
Not even joking, like when you can't even like look at Twitter because you're in the middle of Texas, you're just
Yeah.
like, what do I do?
What do I do with my life now?
What is life? I literally don't know.
Shelby said, tell us a funny story about an interaction with a local. Ooh.
Phil, tell them about
I know what you're thinking.
Okay.
Okay,
This is
so
another
we were saying
humdinger, people.
about one time a week on the US tour, we were allowed to stay in a hotel, and we were staying in one in Chicago, and I'd brought like an SD card to Dan's room or something, and I was going back to mine, and I got in the lift, and well, I pressed the button for a lift, and the lift opened, and there was a couple, a man and a woman, aggressively making out against all of the buttons.
Can you imagine?
It was about 1 a.m, and I don't know what went through my head, but so the lift opened, and I just stepped in with them. So I was like,
In what universe?
No, why
would you
did I
not
do that?
Just let them
But
move.
I'd gone too far now. I was already stepped into the lift. So he had the lady like against the lift with her legs over the buttons. So I just said, "Don't mind me." And I reached under her
Honestly.
armpit and pressed the floor that I wanted to go on. And then I just stood there not saying anything.
What were they? Did they just continue making out?
They weren't making out. They looked very annoyed that I decided to get in with them.
They were having like the
were having
moment
a
of the
moment.
movie where they were like, we're in the thing, we're going to the room, and then imagine Phil
Just
walking
being like,
into the left and
"Hi."
being like, sorry, don't mind me, I'm just going to reach under your thigh. 7! There we go.
So, yeah, I'm now banned from the Chicago hotel.
Okay, I think that we should do a couple more because this is just going downhill quickly.
Yep.
Okay, let's see this one here. This is from Jody, who said, how differently do you think Dapko would have turned out if you took the photos? We did take the photos.
Yeah, we took...
It was good.
I'd say we took about 70% of the photos in the book.
It's a good mix because we had a guy that Phil knows called Mark who took some really amazing photos of the show in Manchester, which is where all like the photos you've seen a million times on the internet.
It was actually someone I went to school with, and the photos from Manchester were so good. We were like, "Mark, do you want to come to America with us and take loads of photos?" And he was like, "Yes." So my friend Mark, just like followed us around and took loads of photos, and they look great.
Yeah,
so.
because in the book, if I can just steal this one for a second, there's like obviously all the candid stuff that we took on our phones, but there's also like lots of sections of just high quality photos of the show that are really incredible. So it's like a good mix of professional photography that would actually get published in a book, and then a bunch of ugly selfies from Dan and Phil that makes people...
I think it's the best combination.
It's like the reason people don't want to take YouTube seriously.
Katie wants to know, what is your biggest regret about YouTube? Oh. Wow.
Is that really the penultimate question? Okay, wow, everything.
Everything. You can't just say everything.
I can say everything.
Okay.
I mean, would you say that me telling everything embarrassing I've ever done with my life has helped you in any way?
Oh, yeah.
Is that good? Yeah, some people. Well, there we go. You know, I may regret sacrificing all of my dignity literally forever, but if it was worth it for you, then that's okay.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, Claire and Hannah want to know, do you miss Manchester and the apartment?
Oh, a nostalgic question.
Manchester!
What do you think?
I do get nostalgic for Manchester. I've got a lot of friends there, so I do go back. Sometimes I stare up at that apartment and was like, oh, I like that apartment. It was great.
It was tiny, though.
It was...
I went really crazy in 2011 because we just don't go outside.
Yeah.
Like, literally ever. So I was like, I'm scratching at the walls. This apartment's so small. Help me. But, you know, it was good. I miss the Manchester city.
Yeah, it's a great city.
I'm getting nostalgic thinking of Manchester.
I miss the breakfast bar.
Before this turns into a mess, shall we see one more?
Okay.
Right, here we go. We're taken out from the... an
Stay
aggressive heckle from the audience. This one is from Keris, who said, oh, this is a good one to end on.
Okay.
Did you ever think that YouTube would take you this far in life?
Oh. I mean...
I'm glad we didn't end that on all of the ugly questions about that. I can't feel.
I never thought that Phil from back in the day would even have the confidence to sit on a stage and chat to anyone.
Little Philly L from Rossendale.
Let alone do a whole show with a song and dance number in it, and that's a whole nother level. So I had no idea that YouTube would take me this far.
The thing is, everybody, when YouTube started, they're obviously just doing it as a hobby. Like, when all of the YouTubers that have been doing it for a million years started, everyone was just like a bored teenager being like, I'm gonna vlog for no reason. And, you know, that's kind of how we felt at the time. So there was no plan that this would happen.
Yeah.
And it was all just going, hey, well, you know, we've got this creative opportunity. Why don't we do a book? Hey, let's try something new. Why don't we do a stage show? So the fact that this hobby of vlogging to a camera not only is, you know, obviously has given us our lives and it's like what we do as a job and we feel so lucky and privileged that we get to do that. But the fact that we kind of get to live our dreams and do all these creative, amazing things and also like have a real impact on people's lives, you know, I think that that's really important.
Yeah.
That is it for me, you know. It's like whenever I'm like, oh, everything's down low, and I get that one email from some 11-year-old that's like, hello, Dan, you made me smile today. I'm like,
There we go.
that makes it worth it.
Your life
So
has a purpose.
I'm very glad that I discovered YouTube and started wasting all my time on it as a teenager.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's also just about not being afraid to take a risk sometimes in life, because it was a risk
Yeah.
to say, this is what I'm going to do with my life. I don't know if it's going to work out. And it did work out, so don't be afraid to try that every so often.
Totally. I think what we discovered from doing The Amazing Book Is Not on Fire and the stage show is kind of like what we can show from, you know, just like the story of the last 7 years of our lives is that you should not be afraid of just being yourself. You know, it doesn't matter if you're like a weird, nerdy loser or whatever, because thanks to the internet, you will meet people that you can be friends with, that you should always try new things and just try to follow your dreams and be happy, I guess. So
Yeah.
I hope that's good, yeah. Okay, that was moderately articulate, so I feel like we need to end this now before
Okay.
this crashes and burns.
Gertrude has been emptied. There's nothing left inside her.
Phil, do not personify the goose.
I'm sorry.
Phil, put it on. Wear the
But
goose.
I
Put the mic down.
I think my head is...
Is Phil's head too big? That looked great. That's a good thing. All right, well, I guess that's it then. Thank you.
Thank you so
everybody
much.
in London. Shout out to all the people here watching this on the internet. And yeah, we're all here because of this. Dan and Phil, go outside. It's out now around the world. You can just go to danandphilgooutside.com if you want to get it. Hashtag spawn. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank
Bye,
you
guys.
so much for coming.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, guys. Thank you.